Hi, and welcome back to the Therapeutic Properties of Essential Oils with me, Jennifer Langsdale. We're going to take a short introduction through my PowerPoint presentation this afternoon to give you a quick overview about some basic properties of essential oils. We're going to start with what makes sense as an essential oil. What is the actual definition? And I think this is important to know because when we talk about essential oils, we're not always talking about aromatherapy as a sensory experience, but we're talking more about our chemicals, chemotypes, constituents, and things like that. So our professor this semester gave me his personal definition of what an essential oil is because I was a little confused compiling all the different definitions that were out there from our various texts. He came up with essential oil as a mixture of volatile hydrophobic compounds extracted from the plant material via distillation, expression, or enfleurage. I really appreciate that definition because it really brings together the fact that essential oils are coming from plant material, but also how they are taken from the plant and turned into the chemicals that we used called essential oils. Some therapeutic benefits of essential oils are they're very powerful at treating infection and resistance to bacteria. So right now we understand that there's sort of an epidemic of antibiotic use, and this overuse is causing resistance and becoming a bit scary on a global level on how we're going to be treating a certain amount of disease through the body. So we know that infection and resistance to antibiotics is a known threat, and that plant medicines that were used, and I talked a little bit about this in my first presentation about global use of aromatherapy, but that plant medicine is old medicine, and we're sort of relearning and reinventing the wheel just a little bit when it comes to the use of plant medicine. So we know that there's many therapeutic properties for the use of plant medicine by using herbs and plants, but the essential oils are the heightened components and compounds of the use of these plant medicines. So it's important to know that when you use an essential oil that there is, again, this sense of sacredness and this sense of devotion to the plant itself. So this is very important when you start to use your oils therapeutically. Really respect the source that they came from. Essential oils are usually breathed or absorbed through the skin. We don't recommend taking essential oils internally unless you have somebody who's very well versed in that subject matter. But for the efforts of what we're trying to accomplish today, most of what we're talking about is going to be oils that can be taken through the skin as the largest organ in the body, or oils that you could use in your diffuser at home. A very nice quote, and I included the link to a wonderful article, a very large article, full of wonderful information about the therapeutic benefits of essential oils. Here's a quote from this article that was very powerful. Of the 98 essential oils recommended for dermatological use, 88 are endorsed for treating skin infections. Of these, 73 are used for bacterial infections, 49 specifically for acne, 34 for fungal infections, and 16 for viral infections. There's 98 choices already, and even more than that, but 98 choices already of how you could treat something happening in the body through the use of essential oils and therapeutic use. So we'll start with the principle of pain relief. I know as a yoga teacher, the general amount of my yoga students come in to treat some kind of pain, some kind of uncomfortability in the body, whether it be lower back pain, pain in the joints, shoulders, arthritis. Out here, fibromyalgia is sort of something that's unfortunately being diagnosed in massive amounts, and I think it's just a way sometimes of diagnosing chronic tension and inflammation in the body, whether it's through stress, anxiety, or the foods that we're eating, or maybe the pollution in our environment. It seems in Northeast Ohio area that everybody who walks into my yoga studio tells me that they have some sort of tie to anxiety, stress, or autoimmune disorder. So in general, we use essential oils maybe in our diffuser, or maybe we're using them in a balm or a salve that our students can enjoy, that we rub on the skin during their relaxation time. But we know that essential oils are very, very powerful for treating pain relief. So in general, we're looking for oils that are going to increase circulation and oils that are going to be helping aid inflammation. So if you watched the first video by Doreen Peterson in Module 3, where she made a lovely body lotion, she included some of these oils on this list. I specifically remember black pepper, knowing that black pepper is heating and warm and spicy. So without even knowing the chemical components and just knowing the gauge on how the scent reacts under my nose, kind of gave me a good key in that was going to be helpful to relieve tense muscles. So the list that I put together for you here is in no way complete, but just suggestions. Basil, black pepper, clary sage, cinnamon leaf, geranium, juniper berry, peppermint, lemongrass, rosemary, and thyme are just a few of the more common and I think affordable oils out there. So the method of use when we're using things that are going to help to reduce pain and inflammation in the body would be spasm, irritation. We're looking to interrupt those pain impulses. So we want to make sure we're using oils that we can apply to the skin, but in a good carrier oil, so that way we're not irritating the skin. And it was recommended through our many texts that we use St. John's wort, olive oil, and comfrey, because those are actually carrier oils that help with inflammation. We're also maybe warming a compress. A lot of the massage therapists and certified practitioners that work at my studio tend to use compresses and warm them up in a slow cooker, which is kind of neat. They have their own slow cooker that they keep going, and they're applying warm compresses to the areas of the body that people are complaining about, but they're also maybe infusing them with some kind of herbal salve or essential oil base that they can place on the body so it's absorbed through the skin. We recommend that, again, this is only for topical use, and you wouldn't be using this on open sores or wounds or anything like that, that this is just really to place on an area of the body that someone might feel pain. Oils that are antifungal are going to help with the prevention of fungal growth. So certain oils that you'll be looking for are going to contain the constituents of aldehydes or monoterpene alcohols. So we're looking for things that have citral maybe in them as a component, and oils that are rich in aldehydes, which are like cinnamon, lemongrass, eucalyptus, but those can be a bit skin irritating. So if you're looking to apply directly to the skin, we recommend tea tree or geranium because they're well tolerated by the skin, and tea tree can be applied to the skin in small amounts over an infrequent period of time. Neat means without the use of a carrier, so directly to the skin. This would be good for toenails, athlete's foot, maybe as a salve. You can rub that on and then put a sock or stocking over the foot. But also I do tend to use tea tree directly to the skin for blemishes or breakouts or even bites, like mosquito bites, things like that. So there's many uses for those specific oils. Again, as a yoga teacher, we're using a lot of oils to help uplift the spirits or calm the mind. So the many therapeutic benefits of aromatherapy science in general usually consists of some sort of form of stress relief. So these are going to be your neurological oils or your central nervous system relaxers. So per the Natural Medicines database, which is a wonderful database that if you haven't yet explored, I highly recommend, they say that the vaporized essential oils of aromatic plants are used to elicit physiological and pharmacological effects, sorry for stumbling on the big words, including feelings of relaxation, stress relief, calming, and other effects. Molecules from the vapor bind to the olfactory receptors in the nose, sending signals to the brain via olfactory nerve. So even though we're not, let's say, applying these oils to the skin, and we can, but we're just smelling them in the air, we are reaping immense therapeutic benefits mentally and emotionally from these essential oils. So stress, as we know, can cause anxiety to our nervous system, and that increases muscular tension and stress, chronic fatigue, high blood pressure, headaches, migraines, poor emotional and mental health. Again, this is a huge thing people come in for a prescription for at the yoga studio. We're always writing yogic prescriptions for anxiety and stress. And we know anxiety and stress are connected to every dis-ease in the body. So aromatherapy can really help us. So we suggest oils that contain constituents with esters, and we learned from our module 3, when we were playing around with the essential oils a little bit on our tester strips, that chamomile is deeply ester rich, and I think one of the highest essential oils with esters in it. And I can tell you, after I smelled that chamomile for around an hour when I was playing around with my test strips, that I probably slept one of the deepest and most relaxed sleeps of my life. They also recommend, of course, lavender and even lavandin. And there was a couple of clinical research articles that mentioned that lavandin actually had a more specifically calming chemical makeup than even the traditional lavender. And that lavandin actually helped relax people. I believe it was post-surgical procedure, and had more profound effects than the lavender. We also know clary sage and bergamot are wonderful oils for helping calm the nerves, and some other suggestions were rose, mandarin, and frankincense. So the method of use would again be to inhale these oils, put them in a diffuser. You could probably bathe in several of these oils and they wouldn't hurt the skin. Just make sure you blend it in a good carrier oil, and even through making your own massage lotion and things like that. Of course, anytime you mix touch with essential oils, you're usually going to increase the de-stressing benefits. Antibacterial oils, of course, are going to be against the fight of bacteria, so we're going to want to use these around the house when people are falling sick, or you're in an environment that maybe you work in a hospital or medical environment. I know I run oils all the time that are antiviral and antibacterial and antimicrobial at the studio, because people will come in with common colds and there's a lot of people together in one room, or they're working in corporate America and they're bringing all those germs into the studio. So I have to say, running the essential oils and the diffusers throughout the studio has been really beneficial to us as a yoga community, and keep people well and keep from the spread of disease. So oils that we're looking for are going to be high in phenols, monoterpene alcohols, and ethers. I apologize for my new chemistry tongue. So the phenols that we've talked a lot about through our online lectures are thyme and oregano, but we know that they're irritants to the skin, so we wouldn't be really applying them to the skin, but maybe using them to clean our homes with, or using them in our diffusers. And the monoterpene alcohols that are safe to use, even again applied straight to the skin, but again not in high dosages. We don't want to build up a toxicity to these oils, but using tea tree and lavender, definitely really safe to the skin. And then maybe the possibility of incorporating some clove bud into that. We understand that the mixing of certain oils together can sometimes increase their potency and their benefit when we kind of cross-link them. So again, diffusing these oils and using them through the skin. Antimicrobial oil, we just had a lecture about that came out today, which was super wonderful. And we understand that these are the oils that are going to aid in the killing of microorganisms. And these are some big topics through clinical research right now, as we talked about antibiotics being less and less likely to help you cure common disease. We're going to be using essential oils maybe to combat that in an environment that is needed. So I know, for example, I'm working with my aunt right now who's just had her second diagnosis of cancer, and she's on her next set of rounds of chemotherapy. So when I go over to her apartment and give her some massage on her legs, I'm always using essential oils that are known to do this. whether I'm running them through a diffuser or putting them in a foot bath for her, because we know her immune system is so low. And she lives in an apartment building with many people who are probably spreading around a lot of germs. So we're looking for oils that contain monoterpenols and monoterpenes. That would be coriander, lemongrass, peppermint, thyme, grapefruit, lemon, sweet orange, and pine, and looking for high qualities of the constituent of limonene. The method of use for these oils are going to be through inhalation and diffusion, and of course maybe cream for a localized application. So one other quote I wanted to share with you is that by reviewing the aromatherapeutic literature, at least 1,500 possible combinations made up of 2 oils could be identified for dermatology alone. This brings forth the question as to the antimicrobial effect of the overall combination. After all, if essential oils are to be investigated as options to curb antimicrobial resistance, the aim of combination therapy should be to broaden the spectrum of antimicrobial activity and prevent development of additional resource occurring. So within this, we did get assigned a wonderful article to read about the use of essential oils against drug resistance bacteria, and I wanted to include that in here, that there was a study done in a hospital setting where they were running lemongrass oil for it looked like 9 months consistently in a I believe it was a burn unit. Yes, a burn unit. And they saw a huge decrease of MRSA infection. And when they took the lemongrass oil away, then all of a sudden they resulted in an outbreak. So just there's power alone in the proof that essential oils do work. So there are a few other benefits that I just wanted to kind of just check off the box, which would be that you could use these essential oils therapeutically for insect bites or repellents. I think that's important because people are always wanting to spray bug spray on my kids in the summer, and I'm always pleased telling them no, because I pack my own in my purse, and they seem to be pretty effective. You just have to remember that you don't want to use citruses when the kids are out in the sun because of the ability to photosynthesize on the skin, and also oils that aren't as volatile, that are actually going to stick and stay, otherwise you're going to be spraying yourself quite a bit. And to remember too that these oils act, some of them specifically act as antioxidants, so they're good preservatives, and they're being used in the culinary world and as a way to assist keeping out bacteria out of our food. So I thought this would be sort of a fun thing for you guys to do if you watched this and you wanted to do a little bit more research for things that you could use around the house. I'm all about essential oil first aid kits. It's probably one of the first ways that I really started to explore the chemistry of essential oils on my own, and that was to put together a first aid kit that I knew that would be safe for myself and my smaller children, and things that I could carry around with me in the summertime, either in my purse or in my car. Just as a caution, you probably don't want to leave your essential oils in your car in the summer, especially in Ohio. We get really hot summers and the car gets a little too hot to store the oils in. So if you're going to bring your first aid kit with you, probably throw it in your backpack and keep it on your body with you as much as possible. And you could always throw it in a refrigerator if you're out and it's a hot day. So what I recommend is oils like peppermint, tea tree, lavender, geranium, and eucalyptus make their way to your first aid kit. I would be really excited to hear which oils would be in your first aid kit, and maybe if you want to fill in the blank on why I chose those oils, because each oil in that kit would be suitable for treating insect bites, small burns, scrapes, little wounds, or even if you're stressed out, you've got a long travel ahead of you and you're stressed out, or you're at the airport, let's say, for example, your flight's delayed, or even you ate something, or you got a little car sick for nausea and stomach. So maybe you could go ahead and fill in the blank on those and make a little fun thing out of it, and tell me what's inside your first aid kit. I included, of course, the resources that were chosen to make this little presentation. It was overwhelming the amount of information that is out there, and I almost had to stop myself because I knew that we only had a certain amount of time to put this presentation together. But going forward, I hope to make more videos like this to help us on our journey to seeking aromatherapy as a more common use in our lives. And of course, paying homage to the musical credit for this video. I wish you all a wonderful and blessed day. Namaste to you. I look forward to hearing your feedback.